Brian the Rabid Dog. Chapter 15. Joe Swanson to the rescue. The moon was looming over the Griffin's house. Meanwhile, Joe was rolling in his wheelchair across the street heading towards the Griffin's house. Minutes later, Joe entered their house armed with his gun. Joe scanned the living room. "All right, Brian, come out here. I don't want to have to kill you," Joe explained determinedly. Joe slowly wheeled himself through the living room. Then he heard footsteps in the kitchen. Joe quickly fired 2 shots into the kitchen. Joe quickly wheeled himself into the kitchen. Joe scanned the entire kitchen, but he didn't see Brian anywhere. Joe then wheeled himself to the stairs. "All right, stairs, let's do this," Joe said determinedly. Moments later, Joe slowly climbed himself all the way to the top floor while dragging his wheelchair up as well. I hate stairs," Joe muttered exhaustedly. Minutes later, Joe scanned through all the bedrooms on the top floor, but still no sign of Brian. Joe then wheeled himself under the attic. "Peter, Lois, Chris, are you okay?" Joe whispered worriedly. Peter, Lois, Chris opened the latch. "Joe? Oh, thank God," Lois muttered, relieved. "Did you get Brian?" Peter questioned, confused. "No, I didn't see anywhere," Joe explained, confused. Suddenly, Joe was jumped by Brian. Peter, Lois, Chris screamed in horror as they quickly shut the latch. Joe was trying to hold Brian down on the floor. Brian then bit Joe's right arm. Joe screamed in pain. Joe then threw Brian down the stairs. Joe then started crawling across the floor trying to reach for his gun. Joe started hearing Brian running back up the stairs. "Oh crap," Joe muttered panically. Joe was a few inches away from the gun. Brian then came running back up the top floor. Joe quickly reached for his gun as Brian lunged at him.